Welcome to this thought-provoking dive into Hillary Putnam, the American philosopher whose ideas on language, mind, and reality have shaped modern thought. Born in 1926 and passing in 2016, Putnam started as a logical positivist, but evolved through realism, functionalism, and pragmatism, always challenging assumptions. Imagine asking if a brain in a pet could know it's simulated while why water means H2O here, but something else on a twin Earth. Putnam's thought experiments, like in Religion, Truth and History from 1981, show meanings depend on external context, not just internal thoughts. Meaning just ain't in the head, he famously said, shifting philosophy toward externalism. Now, fuse this with inner ontology, or IO, a framework where reality emerges from inner indistincts, IOIs, primordial indistinct potentials, balancing inner coherence and outward differentiation. Through inner entanglement, these generate rhythmic patterns, from quantum asymmetries to conscious selves. It's like Putnam's external references, but ontologically grounded. Meanings as entangled emergence, minds as a recursive loop modulating balances. This synthesis transforms Putnam's critics. His rejection of metaphysical realism, world as fixed, independent, becomes directional rhythms, resolving ambiguities. We explore concepts like multiple realizability, minds computable in various hardware, and internal realism, truth as warranted assertability, while IO as primitives explaining relational dependencies. Enriching this, influences like Wittgenstein's language games echo IO's participatory fields. External thinkers like Donald Davison's radical interpretation from 1973 align meanings with holistic entanglements, or Ruth Millikan's teleosemantics, tying functions to evolutionary stories, paralleling accumulated asymmetry. By the end, you will see IO enhancing Putnam, grounding his contextual meanings in generative ontology, turning philosophy into tools for real-world emergence. Let's entangle these ideas. Post-war America hummed with attention. The Cold War expands the military-industrial engine, computers flicker into existence, and philosophy tries to keep pace with science's sweeping authority. In this atmosphere of acceleration, a young Hillary Putnam grows up in Chicago, in a household animated by repeated conversation and global concern. That early social awareness plants a seed, the conviction that ideas must meet the world. Drawn to both mathematics and philosophy, he finds himself at Harvard, where giants like Carnap and Quine stand watch. Logical empiricism dominates the scene. Reality is to be carved by logical syntax, meaning is what can be verified. Putnam begins here. An early realist convinced that science reveals the world as it is. But history has its own currents. The 1960s arrived turbulent. Counterculture, civil rights movements, mass protest, the Vietnam War. The young scholar listened. As the nation questioned the machinery of power, Putnam's thought loosens from pure formalism, bending toward life's entangled uncertainties. The outward pressures of politics and injustice reshape his inward commitment. His philosophy begins to migrate. Meanwhile, within academic halls, new revolutions spark. Behaviorism is shaken by Chomsky's linguistics. Language is no longer mere stimulus response, but structured, generative, creative. Artificial intelligence emerges from the work of Turing and his peers, inspiring functionalism. Minds as software realizable in any physical substrate. Putnam joins the excitement, helping articulate this new vista. Multiple realizability becomes a landmark idea. Mental states can manifest in many physical systems. Then, in the mid-1970s, he delivers a decisive strike. In The Meaning of Meaning, he argues that meanings do not live solely in the head. They reach outward, anchored by causal interactions and the knowledge distributed across communities. When you say elm, you refer to the tree, not because you know its underlying botany, but because you belong to the network of expertise tracing to the world itself. Language is entangled reality, not private theater. Semantic externalism is born. This insight steers him away from earlier commitments. The computational picture of mind begins to feel too narrow. Mental life is not sealed within the brain, but braided with environment and history. Intrigued by the American pragmatists William James, John Dewey, Putnam reaches a new balance, internal realism. Truth he proposes is not a cosmic mirror. It is what rational inquiry would eventually endorse. A living equilibrium rather than a frozen correspondence. From the vantage of inner ontology, his journey reveals a deeper pattern. His shifting positions are not reversals, but rhythmic motions. New critics press outward, building asymmetry, press synthesis, draw inward, restoring coherence. Each philosophical turn is inner entanglement. Entanglement at work. Language, mind, and world weaving into moments of emergent clarity. Putnam's life models what thinking truly is. A continuous inner unfolding. A willingness to be changed by the world one seeks to understand. Hilary Putnam's work pushes our ordinary talk about meaning and mind into sharper philosophical light. He asks, where does meaning live? What makes a mind the kind of thing it is? And how do our truths survive skeptical doubt? Let's follow his moves more closely. Semantic externalism. Putnam's famous twin Earth thought experiment shows that meanings are not locked inside the skull. Imagine a planet exactly like Earth in every way, except that the liquid everyone calls water has a different chemical makeup. Call it XYZ. A perfectly matched thinker on twin Earth utter, water is wet, and so do you. Yet, your water refers to H2O. Their water refers to XYZ. The same mental state, same beliefs, same utterance points to different reference because reference depends on environmental relations and causal history, not solely on inner content. Meaning is outward looking. Language reaches into the world that anchors it. Multiple realizability. Putnam dissolves the temptation to equate mind with a particular physical substrate. Pain, belief, computation. These functional laws can be realized by neurons, silicon circuits, or yet unknown architectures. The crucial insight. What matters is the functional role. a state plays in a system, not the material it's made of. This undermines simple identity theories and supports a functionalist picture. Software can run on many kinds of hardware. Internal realism. Later, Putnam rejects a single cat's eye ontology. Truth, he argues, is not the mirror of a pre-carved world, but what would survive an idealized rational inquiry within our conceptual frameworks. These reactions are not metaphysically privileged. They are partially shaped by our interests, disciplines, and practices. A star can be a fusion reactor in astrophysics, a navigational sign in seafaring lore. Each description is warranted in its context. Truth is still objective, but it is context sensitive and inquiry bound. The brain in a bat rejoined to skepticism. Putnam gives a linguistic twist to radical doubt. If you are a brain in a bat being fed its appearances, your term tree would causally track the simulated trees in that bat, not real trees outside. So, the skeptical hypothesis cannot coherently claim that your words refer to the external, unsimulated world in the way you suppose. Language is tethered to causal histories. Certain skeptical scenarios fail because reference depends on those histories. Putting the pieces together, tensions and oscillations. Putnam's trajectory from an early realism to a later pragmatism left some questions unsettled. How to context stabilize meaning without sliding into relativism? How do we justify inquiry-bound truths against charges of arbitrariness? Inner ontology starts with inner instincts, pre-categorical instinct generators in superposition, enabling continuity and discontinuity. Not identical. They allow diversity. Through inner entanglement, page differences create accumulated asymmetry and recurrent symmetry, yielding cyclic generativity. Semantic externalism becomes an instance of directional engagement. Referential anchoring is an outward balance, binding a term to an environmental node, while inward coherence stabilizes the linguistic community's shared usage. Putnam's externalism aligns with inner entanglement, IOE, meaning as entangled references, not internal, twin us as asymmetrical context resolving into distinct symmetries. What the references via causal change mirror valence modulations, where outward differentiations shape inward senses. Multiple realizability maps neatly onto layer-specific emergence. Mental states are persistent IOE patterns realized across different material substrates. The same relational rhythm can instantiate on neurons or silicon. Internal realism finds footing in IO's generative constraints. Truth is what emerges from stable inner resonances under ideal inquiry, not an arbitrary convention. And the brain inner bat argument becomes an IO diagnosis. Reference page when the necessary inner entanglements with the external world are absent or redirected into a closed simulated field. Putnam taught us that meaning reaches outward, mind is multiply instantiated, and truth depends on inquiry. IO supplies the deep directional mechanics beneath those claims, showing how environment, embodiment, and relational resonance jointly produce the semantics and cognition Putnam so fruitfully described. Internal realism as rhythmic, Truth is warrantable through inquiry, parallel, accumulated asymmetry to recurrent symmetry. Brain in a bat as indistinct potential. Simulation puzzles resolved by a IOI's relational origins. No isolated head, only entangled fields. Critics of partner vagueness in interests addressed by IO's primitives. Context as directional flows, not arbitrary. Bringing partner into dialogue with inner ontology sharpens his insights by giving them an ontological backbone. Externalism becomes more than causal anchoring. It is IOE in action, meanings crystallizing when IOIs fall into directional relations. Outward change of contact accumulates asymmetry, establishing reference. Inward coherence stabilizes communal usage. Multiple realizability gains deeper footing. Each realization is a layer-specific symmetry, a rhythmic configuration built from the same directional primitives. Internal realism shifts from linguistic pragmatism to generative ontology. Truths are those rhythmic balances that cohere across scales, resisting relativism not by fear, but by the stable dipoles underlying emergence. Yet the complement runs both ways. Putnam's thought experiments, twin Earths, brains in bat, rehumanize IO, grounding its fields in lived relationality. Together, they form an entangled realism. Reality disclosed not by detached spectators, but through participation in the inner dance that produces meaning itself. Even skeptical scenarios find new depths. If awareness is a hard emergence of recursive IOE, then a bat is simply an arrested outward balance. Consciousness surviving only insofar as it remains tied to external entanglements. Ethically, this pushes us toward relational responsibility. Meanings are co-constructed. The world becomes a shared rhythmic task. This synthesis radiates. In philosophy of mind, externalism and IO describe cognition as extended entanglement. Smartphones, tools, and archives act as outward membranes of thought. For AI, multiple realizability anticipates conscious architectures. Simulated IO fields where emergent balances must be harmonized to avoid isolated bat minds. In ethics, pragmatic realism becomes contextual justice. Shifting meanings reflect shifting social entanglements, offering a rhythm for combating bias. In science, IO reframes dark matter as unresolved asymmetry, directional imbalance waiting to be equilibrated. The fusion of partner with IO reveals meaning as a directional pulse. External reference is no longer a static pointer, but a living rhythm, an outward reach balanced by inward coherence. Mind emerges as participatory IOE, not locked in the brain, but braided into its world. Partner teaches the contextual play of meaning. IO roots that play in primitive structure, shifting analytic philosophy into a cosmic register. From between us to recursive selves, the invitation is simple. Trace the entanglements, shape the rhythms, co-realize meaning in the flux.